Hey guys, my name is Lauren. I am a elementary school teacher here in West Monroe, and I also have served the past couple of summers as a leader at a church camp, working with elementary kids in what they call a junior camp, and I have been brought back to a lot of those memories today because this time of year is the time that when you start prepping for that and planning material, and it's brought me back to a lot of just the things that we studied last summer with our high school kids and middle school kids that came. And I've had a really difficult time lately being able to feel connected to the Lord because I guess one of my main connections that I always feel is during worship, and so doing everything online and not actually communicating with people, being an extrovert, like not seeing people and having to stay at home and social distance and all of those things has been kind of challenging for me because, well, I have this horrible mentality that, like a lot of people, I think, get where we put God in a box and we kind of just say, well, these are the locations where he is. Last year we did this, we call them spiritual activities. They're like interactive opportunities where you get to like hear a piece of scripture and then do something hands-on with it and really connect to the scripture in that way. And I was brought back to one that we did last year. I did with one of my really good friends, Spencer Carroll, so shout out Spencer. But it was a representation of the Lord through all of these different chairs, and like it's not something that you would just go to automatically, like and think, oh, I totally understand that. But like it was a connection of like how you see a church pew and you connect that to like the church and where you see God, and like that's, you only see him when you go there, or like God is like it's like a fancy dining room chair because we visit that area only on those special occasions like for Easter or for Christmas, at Jesus' birth and his resurrection, which is coming this Sunday, and is like the main time when a lot of people, that's the only time they go to church, because yes, a lot of people know who Jesus is and they've heard the story and they know who he is, and they only truly recognize that by going to church on. I really have just been brought back to that this week and challenged in my heart because I've been stuck in a place where I go to church on Sunday and have church Sunday night and go on Wednesday, and that's when I see the Lord. And I've gotten into this mundane routine of just only talking to him when I'm there and only making connections when I'm in that building, and that's not where God is. We've been studying the New Testament recently, and I was reading at the beginning of John, and it hit me like a ton of bricks in a way that it's never done before. But it says in the very beginning of John 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him. Without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That, like, even now in this moment, makes me so emotional because, for one, when I would read this as a high schooler or a teenager, that scripture makes no sense unless you like break it down and really see all of the was, is, who, the ooh, and like not be so confused. But in the beginning was God. Like, he was there and there was nothing else. And so to think, or to have the audacity in myself to say, yeah, we're not going to church right now, so like I haven't really got to spend a lot of time in the Word, is such an excuse. And I'm appalled at myself for being that way and thinking I can't connect. And so I think that in times like this, that's when we realize that our life has been so mundane and scheduled and repetitive that we forget who started all this and where it all began, and just lose sight of what's truth. And I hope and pray for anyone that watches this video that you're just as convicted as I am to take the time that we're in right now and remember that just because you're not going to the building where you have church on Sunday and you're not visiting those special places, that God is with you wherever you are, and He still speaks to us even when we're not in those fancy places.